Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Kol Holoyim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Harakha Kodash. For blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Aquathas, keeping the faith in the work. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24. And verse 4 says, And Yahweh answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Right? So, famines. This is an article in Zero Hedge. Title of said article is Grocery Stores in New York City May Lock Up Food Due to Rampant Theft. Right? So, apparently, people ain't stealing wallets no more. They're not stealing cell phones. Well, let me not say no more, because, thieves are thieves. But it's gotten to the point to where people are stealing food, right? In certain parts of the daughter of Babylon, to the point to where some of these stores are saying they're going to lock up food. So, like, it's when you go to Walgreens or CVS or something like that, you go into a particular part of the store, certain medicines are locked up, and you got to call somebody to come and get what you want. And it look like that's what they saying they want to do in New York. So if they think it's bad now, right, wait till these prophecies come to pass, man. We'll speak about a famine that's so bad, right? The price of things being so high that people kicking in doors for bread, right? So let me read this article and see what it's talking about. It says grocery stores in New York City may lock up food due to rampant theft. It says food has become a prime target for thieves, and that should deeply alarm all of us, right? Once upon a time, shoplifting was a minor nuisance for most retailers in the U.S. It says, but today the game has completely changed. Highly organized gangs of thieves are systematically looting stores all over the country, and this is costing retailers billions upon billions of dollars. Authorities call it organized retail crime, but I call it complete and utter lawlessness. When you have large groups of people storming retail stores all over the nation on a regular basis, that is a major crisis. It says originally, a lot of these gangs were primarily targeting goods that could be resold on the internet very easily. But now a lot of grocery stores are being targeted, and food is being stolen on a scale that we have never seen before. In New York City, things have gotten so bad that some stores are thinking of implementing dramatic measures. The following comes from a Fox News article entitled New York City Grocery Stores Consider Locking Up Food Due to Rampant Theft. Workers are traumatized. It says shampoo, toothpaste, and razor blades are all items that grocery stores have increasingly started looking behind counters, increasingly started locking behind counters. Soon that list might include food. Right? People have no fear of coming to your store and stealing, said Nelson Eusebio, I guess, of the National Supermarket Association. Our employees are terrified, Eusebio continued. We have young people that come to work, young cashiers who work part-time. These kids are 16, 17 years old. They're traumatized. Well, I'm trying to see why are they traumatized? There must be strong-arming the there must be strong-arming the food and the toothpaste and the shampoo out of the cashier's hands. All right. Anyway, it says, when I first started warning that we are becoming a Mad Max society, a lot of people thought I was exaggerating. All right, so we're not the only people that's seeing what's going on with the world. right? It's just, the Most High said, and matter of fact, hold on one second. Let me see. Now, this the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28. Says, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. So the heathens and all the people around the world are seeing what's going on. It's just they don't have the spirit, spirit of truth and spirit of righteousness, because they're not the Most High's people, right? To really put all of the dots together. But yeah, people are seeing what's going on with the world, right? And even on that right there, it's on a select, few people that actually do see it. Majority of the people, they, what I'm saying, just blind as hell, man. They don't know what the hell going on, right? Outside of a video game, song, movie, TV show, right? But anyway, it says, sadly, the breakdown of law and order just continues to accelerate in many of our larger cities. In fact, it is being reported that grand larcenies were up 80% in New York City last year. It says New York City Mayor Eric Adams has made a point of combating the repeat offenses. Criminals believe our criminal justice system is a joke, Adams said in comments referring to a serial intruder who was arrested and released 26 times. Those arrested for grand larceny go to court, get released, and on their way home from court, they're doing another grand larceny. Said according to the New York Police Department, grand larceny thefts of over $1,000 were up 80% in New York City last year. But $1,000 ain't nothing in New York. You know what I'm saying? That's like chump change for real. Right? It says only an 80% increase. It says, yes, that sounds perfectly normal to me. In other areas of the country, shortages are the big news right now. I never imagined that Costco would totally run out of eggs in early 2023, but this has actually happened at many of their stores. Right? It says this Costco is now completely sold out of eggs. 2020 was toilet paper. 2023 is going to be a run on eggs. Get yours now. Part of this avian flu and reduced numbers production. Sound, I guess, alarm. Right? Somebody told me, I was at work today, and somebody, the dude that worked with me, his wife works at it's a local hospital around called Brookwood, and he was saying that they implementing that mask mandate again. And I asked him, like what's going on, and he said his wife didn't know. So, maybe that's it, avian flu. Right. At the end of the day, we already understand. This ain't nothing but the damn devil, man. For real, for real. Like that man playing musical chairs. Right. Right. Guess the new disease. Says, as I discussed yesterday, bird flu is one of the factors that is causing supplies of eggs to get tighter. But as the farmer in this video explains, it is certainly not the only factor. The real reason for the egg shortage is not avian flu. According to this farmer, the producers can't cover their costs, so there are now millions of fewer hens and many millions of fewer eggs produced per day. Right? So, this farmer is saying it ain't got nothing to do with the flu. They got everything to do with business and how these people ain't able to basically pay for what's needed in the stores. All right. It says no matter how high interest rates go, people still need to eat. So the Federal Reserve can hike rates to the moon, but food prices are still going to remain ridiculously high. However, higher rates will crush many other areas of the economy, and some of the biggest names in the corporate world are now conducting mass layoffs. Goldman Sachs is just the latest firm to reduce its size in recent months. Morgan Stanley announced that it would cut 2% of its staff in December. Amazon plans to cut over 18,000 jobs, and Salesforce announced it would cut 10% of its workforce and close some offices last week. It says while white-collar workers were less affected by that thing, pandy, lockdowns, than their blue-collar counterparts, many jobs were simply done remote instead of being cut. Professionals are now bearing the brunt of the economic headwinds America faces. Yeah, man, the daughter of Babylon been getting bruised up as of late, right? And the sanctions that they put on these other countries, that didn't help the cause at all because it ended up backfiring, right, in a major way, right? So what's going on overseas, all of this is making sense, man, right? Especially when you know what's written in the word to happen in the end, right? Scripture tells us basically hyperinflation is going to come, right? A loaf of bread costs a day's wages. Scripture says that, matter of fact, I won't just say that. Let me see. Let me go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, and verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. But there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Like Brother was saying, a Mad Max society. To where there ain't nobody care nothing about what the police got to say or what the governor got to say about anything, right? And we already seeing signs of it now. Dude brought out the example of the different, I don't want to say gangs, and I mean the stereotype of it. But at the end of the day, hey, dude said gangs, right, with bum rushing stores. And we saw videos of it, right? They'll pull up in cars, a mass amount of people just bum rush the store and just take whatever it is they want and run out the store, hop in the car and ride out, right? It happens several times, apparently, right? And scripture says it's going to get like that all around this place, right? And it's going to get to the point to where this is going to totally collapse, right? It says, "For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." Right? So it's written in the word, right, to get worse. This situation this scenario that we're reading about, the situation that we're reading about is written to get worse in the daughter of Babylon. It's going to get bad out here, man. You know what I'm saying? But it says, back to this article. It says, when are people going to finally understand that we have a major league crisis on our hands? When Goldman Sachs lays off large numbers of workers, that is a red flag. When Morgan Stanley lays off large numbers of workers, that is a red flag. Right? When Amazon lays off large numbers of workers, that is a red flag. Facebook, Twitter, McDonald's, and Walmart are also laying off workers. As they used to say in the 1980s, it is time to wake up and smell the coffee. At this point, things are so grim that the World Bank is warning that the entire global economy could plunge into a recession this year. And they've been talking a global recession for the past year. So that means that it's already here. If they keep telling you it could be, and you steadily going to the store and prices of things are steadily getting higher, right? Basically what they're saying, it's already going on. But what's about to come is hyperinflation. That's what they're warning you about. When things get so ridiculously high that what we read in 2nd Ezra 15 literally comes to pass. Because can't nobody afford nothing. All right? It says the global economy is just one more knock away from a second recession in the same decade. Something that hasn't happened in more than 80 years. That's the latest warning from the World Bank, which on Tuesday sharply lowered its forecast for global economic growth. All right? As economic conditions deteriorate, people are going to become increasingly desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. And them facts, them all the way facts. We just read it in 2nd Ezra 15. All right? It says, so if you think that organized retail theft is bad now, just wait until you see what is ahead. The social deterioration that we have been witnessing over the past several years will soon accelerate significantly, and that is really bad news for all of us. Many retail stores on both coasts have already closed due to the epidemic of theft that we are experiencing, and a whole lot more will soon be permanently shut down. We really are in the process of becoming a Mad Max society. We only have ourselves to blame. And no owl. Right? So, hey, there you have it. Right? It is not looking good for the daughter of Babylon. It's not looking good for the world, period. For the earth, period. It's not looking good. Right? And call Haloyim La Yahweh Bashmi Hawashai Bahashim Harokakodash for it. Right? This good news. Straight like that. This is awesome news. Why is it awesome? Because it's lining up with the prophecies pertaining to the end. These are the things that we want to hear. We want to hear about a Revelation 13 electronic being created. We want to hear that. We want to hear about a Revelation 13 banking society. We want to hear about civil unrest, right? Just like what's going on in, I believe it's Iran. They real life protesting. I'm talking about for real, right? Iran and Brazil. I'm talking about burning. If I'm not mistaken, a police officer in one of them countries got put to death by fire, right? And that take my mind to 2nd Ezra chapter 9, right? Verse 1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So the Most High already let us know about the times to come, right? So mentally, we're more prepared than the average person because we've been seeing it since the Most High woke us up to be able to see it, since the Most High opened our eyes, our minds, our spirits to be able to see the future, basically, because that's all prophesying is, speaking something before it happens. And that's not something that a person can just create. The only way we're able to speak things that have yet to come to pass is because it's written in the word. And it's literally coming to pass as we speak. All right, so, people if they don't want to believe, that between them and the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We out here to sow seeds, warn the people, and, keep faith and works to the best of our ability to be able to endure unto the end and be saved. That's it, and that's all. All right, so I'm going to end with that. Yahweh Shemel Sharatazah. These precepts in this video were edifying. Called Haloyim La Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Bahashim Harakakodash Shalom Yashala.